Welcome to the Glorious Pro Wrestling Podcast, where two nice boys talk about pro wrestling. I'm Andy. With me, it's
Danny.
Danny. How you doing,
Woo!
man?
Good. That's a lie. That's but I'm doing great right now. And it's great to have everybody listening. So much so that we know people are listening because somebody actually used that phone number
Somebody did use the phone number.
and gave us
Yeah.
a ring, and you did that super cool thing where you're like, "Hey, we got a phone call," and I was like, "Oh, what's it about?" And you're like, "I'm not gonna tell you."
Yes.
Hey, I got you something
And
really cool. Oh, cool. What is it? Oh, I'm
you
not
have to
going to tell
wait.
you. You
You
have
have
to
to wait and
wait.
see.
Fuck
Yep.
that, Andy. Don't you ever do that to me again.
But then where's the spontaneous feeling of what's
I
going to
don't
happen
like
on this
it.
show?
I don't love it. I don't
Well,
love it. But we're gonna
you
play
want to
that.
start with it? Let's do it. Yeah,
Yeah, let's take our
let's
caller.
see. Hope it's not too loud, but let's.
Hi, how's it going? This is Eni. It's still real to me, damn it, Act-Fan, and long-time listener, first-time caller. And I recently went to the DOA show a couple weekends ago, or maybe it was last weekend, and
Forgot
so
when it was.
they had Brian Zane out there who runs the thing, and he was playing a heel owner, and it got me to thinking. Most of the time, it seems that the owner plays a heel. And I feel like the only time that that's not the case is Tony Khan with AEW. Is in fact Tony Khan the only face owner that's ever been in wrestling? Well, anyway, just if you guys could discuss that, I'd be very interested, and I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, hang up, Eni. Well, Eni, it's
Thank you
still
for
really
calling.
yeah. Thank you for calling. First one that comes to mind is Scott D'Amore.
Right? Yep.
Um,
Also, I put Shane up there.
Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Um,
In technicality, I know he's kind of more general manager, but him being a McMahon, he's like the babyface McMahon.
yeah, I get where you're going. Let's see. You bring up a great point. And I think it's easy. Of course, like the boss is the bad guy.
Yeah. And I think that's because Vince made it so popular to be the bad guy.
Was it Vince or was it Bischoff? Who did it first?
Oh.
Who did it first? Was it
No.
Bischoff or was it Vince? Who did it first?
Yeah, true.
I actually don't. We'd have to get into the minutia of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Bischoff would say Bischoff, and I'm sure Vince would say Vince.
Yeah.
So that's what I. Okay. Well, I mean, let's talk New Japan. We don't really see their.
We don't,
really
and I think that's kind of like the tough one because New Japan, they don't really do on screen with their owners, kind of in the same way where like
but
it's
Tanahashi is the president,
right? Yeah.
So I mean, that's a face.
It is super. He's a super face.
So as the president, you got Tanahashi on screen.
But he's not really authority figure on screen.
He doesn't
I think
play
that's kind of
he
where
wrestles just like he's on the roster, and they just kind of chuck in the fact that he's the president.
That's why it's kind of hard when like you point out Tony Khan, and it's like, yeah, okay, but Tony Khan isn't necessarily an on-screen character.
I mean, he's on screen too much. He's involved in storylines and like
you said too much.
Dude, he's not good.
No, he's not good on screen.
He's terrible on the stick.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But like, let me walk that further though. But like, let's recall when he dropped off Darby Allin, for when Darby had flamethrower. when he dropped him off the scoop. When he had the flamethrower and we were building towards shittily towards the future of AEW. Was it going to be the EVPs or the Team AEW? Tony Khan was very much so. Like, I would say he's on screen. He's involved in storylines. He makes really, really big announcements.
Huge
announcements.
Life-changing announcements.
So I would say he's very much on screen in that sense, just because of the involvement there.
Fair.
I don't know if you want to talk about GMs.
GMs you can probably go on for,
because, like, I think Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are both faces.
Yeah.
We don't have the owner of the company in WWE. Well, I mean, no, there's nobody who
have
represents
Triple H.
There's nobody who represents TKO,
right?
And Triple
The
H,
Rock,
who is a heel, to Eni's point. Triple H is pretty neutral, I guess but also he's not. We don't really treat him like the owner.
No,
we treat him just like the guy in charge.
The guy there, yeah.
Guy there, yeah. I don't know, which I couldn't explain the difference.
Right.
It's not like he comes out and makes the call and is like, restart the match, or like, et cetera, et cetera.
Right, which is kind of interesting how he's kind of on screen the same amount that a GM is.
Yeah. And so the GMs are kind of the ones functioning in that owner role, I feel like.
Right.
I'm not sure what I would put The Rock's cousin in.
Oh, yeah, for NXT. Yeah,
Or
she's kind
cousin.
of...
Fuck, is it his straight up daughter? What the fuck am I saying? It's a straight up spawn.
Is it?
Yeah, for NXT. You got it. Okay. Or it's
NXT.
Whatever. I'm not really sure how she's functioning these days. I would wager it's the same as Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis in that face realm.
Mm-hmm.
But again, not really the owner. More
GMs.
Yeah, more GMs. When I think of owner, I think of Vince. I think of Eric. I think of Scott D'Amore. I think of fucking and Tony. Because those are the largest ones I could think of.
They're actual owners.
The dude from Prestige is a face.
Oh yeah, there we go. Let's go.
And yeah. And so DOA does, it seems like, to Eni's point, have a heel owner. So there's that.
You kind of cut out a little bit.
Oh, okay. Either way, it sounds like, to Eni's point, the DOA owner is heel.
Right.
Yeah. What else? What other? I wouldn't know CMLL. I wouldn't know. AAA.
Billy
Conan?
Corgan.
Billy Corgan. Billy Corgan. Yeah. Okay. Is Billy Corgan a face or a heel?
I think he's also face.
Yeah.
If he's even on screen,
don't they have a doc out? Something about the circus. Have you seen that shit?
No.
Or it's like a reality TV series.
Oh yeah. I haven't looked.
That just popped in my brain though. Now that you said that, maybe that'll give us some answers.
Maybe.
I think it depends. If you don't like the Smashing Pumpkins, he's a heel for life.
Right. I think it's kind of funny that he is an owner of a wrestling company
and has been for quite some time.
Yeah.
For a very long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see who the current owner of TNA is, but I know Santino Morello is the GM there.
All right. Another kind of authority figure there that's also face.
Yeah. So we've got a couple, on both ends there. I don't know which is preferable. Probably heel. Kind of like your world champion. Kind of like best world champion right now,
Mm-hmm.
the best ones tend to be heel.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just kind of like, I don't know. You get the heel owner that as a babyface you're trying to fight against.
yeah.
Doesn't want to give you the opportunity. Doesn't want to do this. But then you're good enough to be better than what the standard, right? And having that owner being like, oh, okay, you're going to get a match and then you win it, right? And that's like fucking great. Daniel Bryan, authority shit.
I mean, Stone Cold. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I think it adds that element of like, yeah, fuck the system kind of shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, in that realm, it helps baby faces a lot. When you have a face one, are they
They're to
like,
screw over
are
the
they
heel.
actually face, or are they just a heel towards the heels?
Yeah. It's like, it's the thing that eventually, when the heels have reached their apex of heeldom, that's when the face GM steps in and restarts the match, or bans people from ringside, or puts them one-on-one with the Undertaker.
Yeah.
So,
Which can hurt the heel, right? Like, it can hurt the heel in the sense of,
I mean, it's all context.
yeah, well, sure.
Right now, yeah. But right now, on a lot, Tony's the biggest owner that we see, because TKO will not have that representative.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting observations. Good stuff.
Good question, Eni. And if you want to give us a call, and
anybody listening wants to give us a call,
spiel to us, the number is going to be
stuff.
720-773-1967. Leave a voicemail. We'll play it on here. And tell us anything.
We'll address
Audi season's done.
For now.
For
this
now.
year. For now. The top story of this event is they didn't even keep they don't even get the belts that they trucked around for weeks with security holding them throughout the arenas, throughout the countries, throughout the states, while building up to this and showing us the precious belts, the most coveted prize,
wrestling
that the winner will receive. That the winner will receive. And the winner does not actually get to receive the belt at the end. No, the winner gets a ring. The winner gets a Dynamite Diamond ring. I mean, a Crown Jewel ring.
Do you think that was Cody's idea?
He's like, what if we just got the ring? What if
He's like, what if we make rings?
All the fucking press we put into this fucking belt, I'm not over it.
I hate it because the way they're, I know it's a WWE and they like to blow it out of fucking water of what they call it and what they say about it, but to call it the most prestigious title,
and everybody knows it's bullshit.
In the industry.
Everybody knows it's bullshit. Even like everybody knows. I'll tell you this though. I will say this: if I was like 6 or 8 or probably even 9 or even 11, because I'm dumb, and I was watching of this era, and I was like, whoa, look at that fucking huge belt, like fucking crazy, like I hope,
in that mentality,
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see Gunther or Cody like holding those 2 fucking belts around.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And then they do this fucking shit.
Yeah,
I would be jaded immediately.
Yeah,
I would be one jaded child walking around. Aside from that, we had some matches.
Yeah, I mean, so Cody and Liv won,
walked away
that
with the
title, the ring. They put the title on, and then took it off, got a ring.
Like, nope, that
Um,
doesn't fit. Yeah. Then got the ring.
what do you think of these? Like, did you like that Cody won?
So it's tough because like I'm a big fan of Gunther. And I wanted Gunther to win.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it
I
would have worked wonders, but that's just me. Like,
I
I
think
think,
yeah,
yeah,
but then also I get that like Cody's their top guy and not gonna lose at their I'm throwing air quotes at their top pay-per-view.
yeah,
Their top guy is not gonna lose. It's like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah.
it's pretty obvious
But
that he was gonna take that one. Now I
yeah,
think there's plenty of ways that you could have had Gunther win dirty and
or
preserved Cody. But I think bro, Cody's like the most protected dude.
yeah, and I think that's why it's like Cody could have not won this and come out okay in this because
Yeah, but
he
get it
because he
though.
doesn't have any like he doesn't have like a strong contender for his championship right now, and the strong contender that does come along can put the fact that he lost to Gunther in it, and then like it can be a little blemish in
Yeah, but
perfect Cody's reign, and
that
that's
was never gonna be the
well, the
case.
problem is that they're protecting him so much. Like he can lose a match that's not even for his title. You know, a number one like people like champions that lose a number one contendership like thing to then put the title on the line against that person. That happens.
Eliminators,
Yeah,
proving
eliminators.
ground. They're
So
so
I just don't
dumb.
think that Gunther I feel like Gunther could have walked away with this. And you know what's funny? Because I showed you that post that I did under their Instagram,
Yes.
um, which
How much
got
hate did you get from it?
no, a lot of people were justifying it in the way that you are, and it's like
Sure.
to that it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, obviously it makes that they're gonna protect Cody at all costs. Sure, my point was just Gunther could have benefited from winning this.
Yeah,
Put
I
them
agree.
at a
Anybody
even
but
playing field.
anybody
It
but the top
elevates your
guy.
yeah, it elevates your world heavyweight championship to that brand. And then the funny thing is that I wanted to bring up, it got a lot of likes. It was like probably over 1,000, and then they deleted the post. They
Huh.
deleted the whole post.
Huh. Do they do that often?
The first time that I noticed it, and I think it was because a lot of people were saying posting stuff like this because for Gunther, like this because Gunther should have
Yeah,
won.
there were other people who felt the same way.
Yeah, and so it was just like, oh wow, that's for them to like delete it, and it was like
Maybe they
showing
do that
all
a
of the
lot.
winners. Maybe
I
they
wouldn't
do.
know. Maybe they
Yeah,
do that a lot. Um, I don't know.
they don't
But
want too
yes,
much.
I wanted Gunther to win. I think it would have been better, especially on the Raw brand. I think it would
Yeah,
have helped the character and all the momentum. Because I mean, waiting back, I mean, Gunther doesn't have that great of a situation for himself anymore now either. Honestly, those two are kind of made for each other, Cody and Gunther.
hmm
To be each other's adversary. That was probably the best program both of them have been in
yeah,
recently.
yeah. Isn't that
You know what I mean?
crazy?
Because
Oh,
waiting for him is Damian Priest again,
right.
who won a fatal 4-way for the number one contender for that title. So we're running that back again.
And for
Uh,
like, why?
yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Gunther's got that one, no problem.
Hopefully,
You know, uh, yeah. God, can you imagine if they put it
because
back on Damian?
say Gunther wins this. Now he looks huge guy. He's beat Cody. He's a big top guy, And then he has a thing with Damian Priest. Damian Priest beats him for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now you have Priest as the top guy. And then you have Gunther, who just beat Cody, who can later make a play for that title.
For Cody's
title.
Yes.
And then you have Cody go over.
Yeah, I would have liked that better. But we know that that's not that wasn't going to go that way.
No, especially now with everything else. But Liv Morgan winning, I think that
was the right call.
Yeah.
I don't know what do you do with, if not now, with the Money in the Bank?
That's the part, because even though Liv was a good win, I think Tiffy's time on cashing in on Nia would have been perfect.
It would have been
also
huge.
on anyone, because how do you, as a Money in the Bank winner, these two champions that you're going after and have a potential to take the title away are going against each other? Like, one's gonna be tired. They're both gonna be tired.
That's like the Money in the Bank wet dream.
Yeah,
that's like the wet dream of the Money in the Bank. Is just like both. Maybe I can get them both if I'm fucking froggy enough.
If you insert yourself into into that match and make it a triple threat, can you get a play for both titles?
I would personally wait until
until it's over.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: is if you have two champions down, can you pin them both?
Right. Yeah.
Can you? I don't know. That would be cool. That would be a cool moment to figure that out. I feel like that would have been a big moment as well, to just get that, really, what are they're all about cinema. They're all about moments, right? That's what makes a good event, right? Our WrestleMania moments, our SummerSlam moments. What fucking moments do you have for fucking Crown Jewel? Braun Strowman winning an ugly ass green NXT UK belt.
The Brothers of Destruction versus DX.
Yeah, is that your moment? Goldberging himself, as we now say.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't fucking know.
If it again, and they don't and also they don't need to get it over, because they're making fucking millions and millions of dollars off of it. So they don't need to get it over. They're getting what they need to get, whether the pay-per-view is good or bad or shit or whatever. But in the event that you wanted to, that would have been a good moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that also, just kayfabe, would have been the right moment to do that anyway. I just hope this Money in the Bank thing doesn't go the way of many of the Money in the Banks.
Yeah, and I don't like the way that they're kind of just making Tiffy look like dumb.
I want to see her wrestle.
Yeah.
Want to see her wrestle, not run around Nia Jax playing the when they will she.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Friends to enemies.
Some friends become enemies, some enemies become friends. Triple threat, LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade. LA Knight taking the win. Not surprised, but also
not surprised.
What was the point?
I think just to get a bunch of people on the bill.
I feel like I don't like it because it just took so long, and they did this best of series, and then they ended the best of series by making this triple threat, and then now neither one.
Technically, LA Knight made it himself when he did the non-finish.
Yeah, but it's like he inserted himself and then got screwed over. I would say, quote unquote, screwed over by making it a triple threat, and then still wins. Like, I think it would have been a perfect time to put Carmelo Hayes as a U.S. champion.
Yes.
Getting the one up. Because not really much else happening with LA Knight.
Yeah, again, those are two good champions. I wish they would have stretched them out one at a time. Because I think they would have been good feuds. Carmelo and Andrade obviously have fantastic in-ring chemistry.
Yeah.
So that feud alone without a belt was going fine, but LA Knight does have that problem that Cody has where he does not have a challenger to, solidify his championship,
Yeah.
to make him look good. And I don't know who that is on their roster right now.
Yeah, me either. I mean, you had two people who were
Right, you had two people who you kind of
two of them, and
you
you
go to
got,
the back of the line.
Yeah.
So like Dragon Lee, if you could build him as a single star, you don't right now because he's kind of a tag situation.
Yeah.
So if you have Dragon Lee and LA Knight, I'd be there for that. If you have Dragon Lee and Carmelo Hayes, I'm more there for that. If you have Dragon Lee and Andrade, I'm a little bit more there for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I like Dragon Lee. I like his work. I like his style. I like his build. If you could get some quality wins to build him to be a star, I think the only person they're really building well right now is Bronson Reed, who's coming off looking like a fucking beast.
I know. Even I mean, yeah. In this one, he lost to Seth Rollins.
He lost, but like, still,
yeah,
yeah, and he got up. I'm pretty sure
after the avalanche stomp.
Yeah, like even in losing, you have this guy who looks like a beast, who's totally valid to go after Braun Breaker now for an IC title shot. And like, holy shit, am I here for that?
Yeah.
And that's another guy who you've developed very well is fucking Braun Breaker.
Right. Who wasn't on the show, but
too young. No, I don't know why.
Too young.
But
too young to go to Saudi Arabia.
But the SmackDown mid-card,
yeah,
I'm bereft of names. Other than the ones that we're aware of and just talked about. So that's a bummer. So that's a little bit of a bummer because fucking Pete Dunne's on Raw.
I think they rushed into a lot of this,
but they do it for Crown Jewel. So yeah. So maybe they'll run it back. Maybe it'll continue. Which again, problems with storylines ending. Speaking of which, we had Bloodline.
We did have Bloodline. Oh, you don't want to talk about the women's fatal 4-way tag?
No, we can.
Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, of course, taking the dub. Surprise, surprise, again.
Yeah, it's just not a pay-per-view where you change championships.
No, and I think this was another one of nothing really happening out of this title.
To be fair, it at least showcased what little of that division there is.
Yeah. You know what I didn't understand about this, the finish to this, with Piper accidentally kind of hitting Chelsea Green and then getting on top of the turnbuckle. That was not good.
Yeah, it had
it
had some low moments. That division, hasn't ever really been a thing.
Yeah,
honestly, until extremely recently. Can we call it a division?
Right,
like for truthies.
That's fair.
That's fair. We have solid teams now, as showcased there, and we have we have stuff to work with.
A match that didn't happen: Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. What?
That's too bad for that crowd.
Super, dude, especially when they're
sure
out
that
there.
Crowd was actually very fucking amped for that.
I was pretty excited for this match.
Yeah. No.
Which kind of
Yeah.
sucks because it's just like,
Tack.
the whole beef thing. He wants Kevin Owens. Give him Kevin Owens. He finally gets
Hunter's
Kevin
trying to
Owens.
protect him. This is what you get when you reject your protection.
Yeah.
Is you get Psycho Kevin Owens.
I feel like this it could have finished in this way, double count out, whatever, brawl, but the fact that it didn't even start and there wasn't even an inkling in the beginning of a match, give us
there
a
was
little bit of a match.
It was just an assault, really, and then
Yeah.
some back and forth.
And it was just like, okay, cool.
You have to make Kevin look strong for Cody. And I'm not satisfied with that
so
for
he can
Cody.
be fed to Cody.
Yeah. On his way out? Question mark? If he resigns, I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah.
Kevin Steen returns to pro wrestling. The Bloodline. Was it Roman Reigns and the Usos versus Solo, Tama Tonga, and not Tongaloa, but Jacob Fatu. Poor Tongaloa.
Poor Tongaloa hasn't had a great showing in the E.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because fucking I go hard for God in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Like at all phases, I go hard for God. And those two in New Japan.
They were great. I mean,
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking great tag team. But yeah. We got a clean-ish 1, 2, 3.
Clean-ish, yeah. Solo pinning Roman Reigns, which is shocking.
Fucking crazy.
But I guess, like you were saying, that is a pretty big moment, right? Like, for Solo to pin Roman Reigns.
Yeah, the OTC 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
What do you do? This honestly heated it up a little bit more for me. Mm-hmm. It seemed like quick to do it.
Yeah.
It seemed extremely quick. I like that we're teasing Jacob Fatu more than we are sort of. He's a special talent, and you can tell by the way they use him. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's kind of what I mean there. He's really coming off as like a threat. And I like that you can play with that. Solo is interesting because we've seen weak stuff from Solo. We've seen strong stuff.
I mean, he ate the pin during the last show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so now him and Roman are kind of one for one.
Right. So this continues.
Then you had Sami Zayn coming out and accidentally haluva kicking Roman Reigns.
Right.
Which is a good moment. I mean, also, it was like, dang. It's also an interesting dynamic because you have Sammy, who only trusts fucking Jimmy, and then Jimmy trusts Sammy and Jay, but Jay
doesn't trust anybody.
Jay doesn't trust anyone. Roman only trusts like Jimmy, maybe. So it's an interesting dynamic of what is triangulating there.
They've kind of reheated it over there, and it is complicated and messy, and I kind of like that about it because that's real, right? So I'm curious. The thing I was thinking of when I was driving home today was like, where's Paul? That's like the missing guy. Is like, where's Paul Heyman? And when if
is
he
when and if though? Is he needed if Roman Reigns isn't Solo?
I think that would make a moment, or I think that would lock it in a little bit. Because on Raw, Sammy removed himself from the storyline.
On this Monday?
this Monday, he was like, I can't do this. This is too much.
Oh, no, I didn't catch that.
So with that out, there's still kind of a fourth slot.
Oh, and it's Paul Heyman.
Not exactly where I was going, but that's kind of how I got there. That's more or less how I got there. I was like, well, where is Paul Heyman?
Yeah.
And who would Paul Heyman bring, I guess? Who would Paul Heyman call?
Apparently, I just saw a report today that Lance Anoa'i, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but apparently they just signed Lance, who I don't know in relation is to Roman. He's in MLW. Let's see.
Oh, hey, real quick,
Yeah.
fucking Zilla paid that. He didn't scam that charity.
Oh, Jacob? It was Jacob.
Jacob, sorry.
Yeah.
Wait. Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Who's the one on? You're saying Jacob Fatu scammed?
Yeah, there was that
He paid
report
him.
of the charity.
He paid
But
him.
yeah,
It's all clean.
They got paid.
Yeah, they got paid. Just so that's all clear.
Yeah. So Lance was actually in WWE in 2015.
Oh, what is this? 2015?
Yeah, in
As what?
2015 he teamed with Rhett Titus, if you remember Rhett Titus.
I do remember Rhett
and
Titus.
lost to the Ascension. And then
he jobbed for the Ascension when the Ascension was fucking sick.
yeah. And then he was
they went downhill.
Yeah. Interesting. And then he faced Shane McMahon representing the this is very interesting. But then yeah, he was in MLW and looks like he did some stuff at Pro Wrestling Noah and looks like he's re-signed now. So he's going to be probably part of the bloodline here and on Roman's side.
Good looking kid. I guess
his father is Samu.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I guess. It would seem like or is it The Rock? Or is it just fucking Dwayne?
Babyface Dwayne?
Yeah. He wanted to be babyface Dwayne when he came in to face Roman.
Yeah.
And then those fucking Crody crybabies. Present.
That's me.
That's me. And I'm regretful.
Hey,
I'm not regretful. I don't regret it. I just, we're at where we're at, and gotta hire me to do creative for the American Nightmare.
Yeah.
Let's get this kid over. Anything else?
From that show, I think that was everything. I think we covered it all.
I think that's it, baby. We're at an hour and a half.
6 matches that actually happened. 5 hours.
Very
covered
patient.
it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's good. Any closing thoughts here? What's on the docket this week? Is there anything this week happening?
There quite possibly could be. Shit. We're in November.
November to remember. I don't. What's coming up? I know AEW has Full Gear. I think that's
Full
next
Gear is
week.
coming up. Yeah, there you go. You're getting it there.
I don't
think Survivor Series is until much later in the month.
Survivor Series is that late
November, I believe.
November. Survivor Series War Games.
Oh, I see.
November 30th. It's the War Games one.
It's the War Games.
That's gonna be sick.
We do that with the main roster now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe NXT has one too. But yeah, we got that, and then haven't. Other than that, that's all I know.
Yeah, I don't
didn't
think
even
there's
know it.
any.
There might be some Anarcho Pro coming up too, but we can touch on that in the next episode.
Yeah, sounds good. Cool. Well, with that, thank you all so much for listening. Don't forget to follow us at Pacific Wrestling Network on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Don't forget that you can call us
yeah, don't forget that.
Our phone number, so you can spiel, you can give us any thoughts, ask us questions,
give us your hot takes.
Yeah. 720-773-1967. It's also on our link tree, which you can find on our Instagram. It's all connected. You can find us anywhere and everywhere. And here from us to you, thank you for listening.
And be glorious.